Peace, family. All right, so I've had some brothers reach out to me and share some links and videos with me of sisters that are actually out here promoting the idea that we do not need our men because they feel like they are worthless and that we should actually be with Caucasian men instead. And so I want to address that, because if you have that mentality, if you feel like you should be with a Caucasian man because you see no value in our men, you have a slave mentality. And a lot of the things that we do today, as far as our mentalities and behaviors, are things that were indoctrinated in us during slavery, and it was just passed down from generation to generation, and many of us have still been unable to break those mental chains. And so I want to explain how that particular mentality is definitely slave mentality. First of all, the slave master used to negotiate with the female slave, and one of the ways he did this is he would emasculate the role of the male slave by beating him in front of her, raping him in front of her, and brutally murdering him in front of her. It's the reason why you cannot witness the murder of a Caucasian man on television, but you can actually witness the murder of our men. You can see them being murdered and beaten all of the time, and their bodies laying in the middle of the street, and all of this is happening before the eyes of the entire world. Okay? Also, our men aren't technically being raped in front of us. However, when you are raping a man, what you are doing is you are feminizing him. You are taking away some of his masculinity. A lot of these television shows that appeal to our people have a homosexual brother in it. A lot of our comedians feel like they can't be funny unless they have on makeup and a wig and pretending to be a woman. A lot of our rappers that appeal to our youth are feminine. They wear female clothing. They wear makeup. They do feminine dances. A lot of their lyrics are always degrading women. And you're a brother that's always degrading women. Understand that you are subconsciously admitting that you don't like women. So our brothers are still today being emasculated. Okay? And this is leaving us to feel unprotected and unprovided for, the same way it did the female slave. And one of the things that we do today when we feel unprovided for is that we run to the system to provide for us. And any program that you are in that says, if you want my assistance, you have to give me all your personal and confidential information, and you submit to that. Any program that you are in that says, if you want my assistance, you have to poison your child with these vaccines, and you willingly submit to that. Any program that you are in that says, if you want my assistance, and this brother might possibly go to jail, and you willingly negotiate that. Any program that you are in that says, if you want my assistance, this brother can't be in the home, and you willingly submit to that. Understand that you are willingly submitting and negotiating to the system the same way female slaves did to master. Today, the system is master. Okay? Another thing that the slave master did to devalue the role of the male slave is that they would remove him from the home. This will leave the female slave to raise the children on her own. And this calls her to have an independent mentality, which will cause her to raise her children in reverse roles. She would teach her daughter to be independent at a young age by teaching her that she was going to be raped when she got older, that she was going to be used as sexual pleasures, and no man, no brother would be able to protect her. Also, that she would have children at one point, and she would have to raise them on her own. So at a young age, these young female slaves were felt like our brothers had no value. And she would raise her son to be physically strong but mentally weak. She was either overprotective of him or abusive to him. If she was overprotective of him, she would teach him to be submissive and compliant to master so that he would not be killed. She was abusive. She feel like, you're going to have to endure this abuse by master anyway at some point. You know what I mean? Today, now, I'm not talking about the brothers that voluntarily don't help with the children. And I'm going to make a video about them as well. So that's going to be a whole nother video about these deadbeat fathers out here, because you have slave mind too, brother. I'm not going to let y'all off the hook. Okay? But aside from them, understand that there are other things that are keeping our brothers out of the home. Think about mass incarceration. Think about the unemployment rate that is double that of the Caucasian man. These things are causing our sisters to feel unprotected and unprovided for. Also, which is causing them to have this independent mentality of, I can play the role of both the mother and the father. And so again, still today, we are still raising our children, our daughters, instead of how to be good mothers and how to be good wives. We're teaching them how to survive without men. Teaching them, that they don't really need a man. We are raising our sons to be physically strong and mentally weak because they need that manhood. If they don't have that, then you're not teaching them. You can't raise a boy to be a man if you're a woman. You just can't do that. And a lot of sisters today are verbally or physically abusive to their sons. And sometimes we do that because we have resentment towards men in general. Maybe we were abused by a man, or maybe we just feel like being hard on him in some way will help him be more masculine or more manly. And that's just not true. Okay? Also, we have these sisters that have these high paying jobs now, and they feel like they don't need a brother. They should get a Caucasian man instead, or they feel like they don't need a man in general. That is a slave mind as well, because sister, understand that unless you are an entrepreneur, you still have a boss, meaning you still have a master. And the higher your position, the closer the master you are, just meaning you just got a room in the house, meaning you are a house slave. And so we understand that the house slaves were the one that turned their back on their people the most. They negotiated with master the most. Okay, so that's why sisters, when they get these high positions, these high paying jobs, and all of a sudden our brothers ain't good for them, all of a sudden our brothers are worthless, understand you are a house slave. You got a house slave mentality, sister. Okay, and aside from that, if you are the sole provider of your home, understand that you're going to be spending a good majority of your time at work. And if you are supposed to be being the nurturer and the teacher by nature, who is left to nurture and teach your children? The answer is television programming and this education system. First of all, television programming is one of the worst things that you can place. It's one of the most detrimental things to place in front of a child, especially a black child, because the only thing they're going to see is negative image after negative image of people that look like them. And it also is going to teach them that the only way they can make it in this world is if they're either shucking and jiving on the stage, or if they're dribbling or catching a ball, or if they're a politician. But you can't be a politician that is committed to the needs of our people. And then when it comes to this education system, it is racist, it is biased, it has failed to educate our children the truth about our story, and it's failed to teach our children any of the basic skills needed, to be self-sufficient. Okay, it teaches them how to work for someone else. It teaches them how to be dependent on someone else. As far as nurturing, the only nurturing the system provides for our children is the welfare system and the prison system. Okay, and you're not protecting them either, because understand our men are our protection. They are our protectors. And aside from the fact that this system is so terrified of Caucasian annihilation, they are aware of the fact that our men are our protectors. Okay, and if you remove the protection from civilization, you can do whatever you want to civilization. And that's why they have been able to do all the things that they are doing to us. If you look at the condition that we are in today as a people, understand that has a lot to do with us, sisters, because our mentalities are what raises these children. We raise entire generations with our mentalities. So if we continue to eliminate our protection, and they continue to do whatever they want to us, we will continue to be in a bad state. We will continue to be in a bad condition. We will continue to be dysfunctional. And so understand, if you're not protecting them, you're not nurturing them, you're not teaching them, all you're doing is providing for them, then all you're doing is maintaining them. And the system is the one that is raising your child. And so when the system is raising your child, your system can turn your child into whatever they want your child to be. Okay? And so, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I mean, that is really a slave mentality to have. And you're really not helping if you are helping them eliminate our brothers, if you are helping devalue the role of our brothers. Because like I said, they can do whatever they want to us. The condition that we are in today has a lot to do with the condition of us. And the reason that we are in this condition today is that our men continue to be eliminated and replaced with the Caucasian man. So if you want a Caucasian man, you have a slave mind. Okay, and so that's pretty much all I have to say about that, family. I love y'all. Peace and love.